Welcome to the Lesson of the Week with yours truly, Sean Thunder Wallace. I'm a performer, composer, and professor of music at The Ohio State University. This weekly program is designed to inspire and inform the serious music student. We're all students here, so join me on the path of discovery as we learn together.
What's great about this is once you get the majors together, it's only one note different to really get melodic minor together. And it's only one note different to get harmonic minor. So those are the way that they operate is really the same. They're all built off the fourth and fifth, and they address everything in that particular family. Okay? If I want to deal with whole tone, it would be two augmented triads, adds a whole step apart. So right. So and of course that's typically dominant 7 sharp 5 is the calling card for, or dominant 7 flat 5 is calling card for whole tone. It's saying this is whole tone. Play whole tone, please. Kind of like on All the Things You Are. Yeah. That C7 sharp 5 at the end of the bridge, that everyone avoids going back to the original key. So that's calling for whole tone. So if you want triad pairs that work for diminished, it would be two majors a tritone away, a tritone apart. And the way that you shorten the distance is you'll start on a different inversion of the first triad so that you still have a close proximity. Otherwise, it's like a...
Yeah.
So
ironically, one of the Ernie Watts exercises in the book.
But if you there's your that works like diminished.
Yeah.
If you want what you're doing to work like augmented, like the augmented scale, if you did two triads a half step apart, two major triads a half step apart. That'll give you augmented. There's triad pairs for harmonic major too. So I mean, you can go crazy with this. And then what I'm kind of calling synthetic triad pairs would be just any combination that I just happen to make up when I'm playing. In improv class right now, we're talking about different ways to address the A section of a night intonation. Okay, so you don't have to keep thinking, okay, now D minor 7, now E flat 7, D minor 7, now E flat 7, like that, because lots of root bias, lots of root bias, and it's hard to get anywhere because it's like you don't have enough time to get anywhere. So one of the things that you can do is you can play E flat whole tone over the whole thing, right? Because the rule is, if I want to know which whole tone scale to play on a dominant chord, just start on the root. If I want to know what whole tone scale works on a 2/5, look at the dominant chord. That whole tone scale will be the closest to that minor 7 chord. So I'm roundabout getting to this. If I say D minor 7, if that was the 2 chord, then the 5 chord would be G7, G whole tone, and E flat 7, and G7 and E flat 7 would share the same whole tone scale. Right. Okay. So then the math is just play a whole tone scale a half step away from the root of a minor 7 chord. So then you end up, then it's like a canvas. Now, if I was playing triad pair grouping over that whole thing, and I could, you could mess with the rhythm, you could do some of those different things that we were just talking about, you end up with a really open, sounding section, but that really works. Now, when I was talking about the synthetic triad pairs, what if I was to say, okay, I'm going to do D minor and E flat, D minor and E flat triad. Okay, D minor triad, E flat major triad. Okay, then it's like, okay, yeah, it's going to work in the way that it doesn't work. Maybe over the 2 chord where I'm playing some stuff that's kind of dissonant over that, but because I keep going back and forth, it gives you that illusion that it
Right, because the
it
resolution
fits.
takes care of half of that.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff that you can deal with triad pairs.
Do you always think this much when you play?
I don't,
Or is all of this like second nature to you now because like you've gone through all of these concepts? Because I'm like, I have never analyzed I think a chord like that much in the way that you're describing. But you have and on the one side like I find it kind of like intimidating, but on the other side you have all of these different options that you're able to just kind of freely jump to which you can freely jump. God, I hate ending sentences as prepositions.
right.
Sorry, that's my thing. So I guess it's kind of getting comfortable with the bridge with that, in terms of getting the concept and then letting the music kind of take you in without constantly thinking of the concept. It's kind of where I'm trying to think about kind of getting with this.
Right.
Although, albeit not yet really fully understanding your concept of triad pairs, but just kind of getting the overview.
Okay, but
Makes sense?
You understand how I'm creating the relationship with the triad pairs. Right. Yeah, so maybe some of it is just a sonic understanding of how the stuff works and how you can get in and out of it. Mm-hmm. Is that what you more or less mean?
Yeah, that's part of it, but I guess, see, like usually, I guess this is what probably gives me some of my freedom and sometimes also gets me into trouble when I play. Because when I play, I tend to try to kind of not think about like the patterns and such. Mm-hmm. I kind of think about, okay, what sound is there, and and how do I match it?
Exactly.
And most of the time it's been kind of just like cheating and letting my ear go wherever it's taken me. So sometimes
I don't know. I don't know if I call that cheating per se. That's all I'm doing. I just understand the way that this stuff works because I have to teach it, and I can't say just feel it.
Right.
You'll hear it. I mean that doesn't help anybody. So my knowledge of this stuff is not didn't start because of what I was playing, or rather, the knowledge of it didn't come before me playing it. Mm-hmm. I was playing it, then I went back and I figured out what it was that I was playing. Mm-hmm. That type of thing. And I'm not thinking of particular patterns or concepts or anything at all when I'm playing. Mm-hmm. I'm just playing, and I am, to use your terminology, I'm cheating too to do that. Mm-hmm. But I also have had to develop the ability to demonstrate in particular specific things. And so that just basically enhances and refines some of the other stuff that I was already naturally playing.
Gotcha.
Hello. Thank you for watching the Lesson of the Week. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the ratings. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Sean Thunder Wallace, and continue to spread the word. Another way that you can continue to show support for my music and for my teaching is by purchasing my latest CD. My latest CD is called Sacramental. You can find it on my website at SeanThunderWallace.com. You can also find it on iTunes, Napster, and Amazon MP3. I would highly encourage you to purchase a CD from my website because there's a 12-page booklet that does a great job of contextualizing the music. Thank you again. Please purchase my new CD, continue to watch the Lesson of the Week, and spread the word. God bless.